Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, Week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the Denver Broncos and the Los Angeles Rams. And off we go from SoFi Stadium. Out of the end zone, it's Tutu Atwell. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Off the fake to Akers, here's Stafford. That's out to the flat for Akers. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A good safe pass there right off the bat.
That's almost a rhythm play. That's what we like to call it. Get them into rhythm early, something safe, something they're confident about, something they feel good. And once that's completed, then you just keep moving from there because the confidence elevates.
Throwing again on second down. Stafford. And he fires one incomplete. Our game here, the second of 3 on this fine Christmas day. Coming up later tonight, the Bucs and Cardinals from Glendale. And then remember, as if your spouse hasn't chided you enough already, more football coming your way tomorrow night. Chargers and Colts on the 26 from Indianapolis. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
No surprise they decided to throw on 3rd down. A little bit of a surprise that they completed the pass and lost yardage on the play.
On 4th down, Stafford. That's to his running back, complete. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And on the opening drive of the afternoon, the defense forces a turnover on downs. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun here, Williams. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Rams, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. And the Rams got it. They bring it down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing, the O-line coach will. And this is a commentary on today's kickers and just how good they are that a coach would think about running his guy out there to try a 59-yarder. Here it backfires on him, but as a kicker, you have to appreciate the confidence that they showed in you.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. So this game, Charles, you know, we talk about potential unbeaten seasons a lot. It feels like every year at some point in the season we talk about that. But this is one of those games where if you're unbeaten, you got to be careful. You can't take this one too lightly.
You're exactly right about that. And by rights, this should be a cakewalk. Almost a week off. Let the starters run up the score in the first half. Backups get to play in the second. But you and I both know that funny things sometimes happen when you think this way. So it's incumbent upon the starters to really play well to make it work for this team.
first down. Stafford here. And he's got this to Jefferson. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 23 yards, the final tally.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. But there's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Evans running behind center. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Stuck for a loss by the linebacker, Josie Jewell.
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sets his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
On 2nd and 12, Stafford. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw, Stafford. His throw caught at about the 5. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Tutu Atwell with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Rams will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point good by Prater. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change at quarterback, running back, tight end. It doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down at about the length of the football. The Rams calling on their nickel set here defensively for 3rd down. Wilson. Right side, it's Manhertz, the tight end. And he will have a Broncos first down, at least at first glance, as he'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And he will find his man Sutton. That's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Give him 32 on the play. That last pass might be one he remembers, Charles. He's now over 40,000 career passing yards.
And just think of it.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a give up the middle to Williams. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss. Oh, free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble, because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it online, but it comes up about a rotation short. All things considered, a pretty good kick. Just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck. And unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
How about this? They'll try the option. Left side. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a third down.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on third down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. That's returnable now for Smith. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the field goal out of it.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Rams are going to take possession of the football.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
On 1st and 10, it's Evans. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set him up.
He finds his target, Allen. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. Going back to Allen. He's got him again. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Consecutive catches for him. That good for 11.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there. And now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. Here's Stafford. A quick hitter complete. It's Gordon. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense. Exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness. Think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, LA. Josh Gordon, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Rams have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Now Prater to add the PAT. And it's good to make it 14-0. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
On 2nd and inches, Wilson. He'll find Sutton on the right side, complete. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he's going to have a first down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. Now a timeout called for by the offense as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Now Wilson on first down. He rifles one that's intercepted. And the Rams are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Stafford. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And now this is intercepted. My goodness.
Picked up by Caden Stearns. And the Broncos will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. So the interception there. And, Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway. On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. And they've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half. Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
On third down, here's Williams. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll bring up fourth. They had the 8-yard gain on first down, but unable to do much from there. Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. And taken right at the 35. Oh, good hurdle. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Rams are going to start this drive in great field position as they take over.
Coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive.
Play action. Stafford sliding out of the pocket.
And this is taken in by the tight end, Bryson Hopkins.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
Oh, a lot of credit to the play caller here. He saw the design in his mind and implemented it. A little zone stretcher here because they started the tight end on the left side of the formation and sent him on a crossing route. And this works really well where you can find that space between levels. And
it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Josh Gordon with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year.
And the Rams are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Prater for the extra point. And it's now 21-0. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Third down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
From the gun, it's Wilson.
That caught by Manhurts. And he will have the Broncos first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. On second down, Williams. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
To throw is Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
And the Rams are going to get the football here at their own 23. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Open man, he's got Jefferson across the formation.
That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown.
Puts it on the carpet. It's out. The Broncos say they have it. They do. Well, number one on the list of things not to do when you're up 3 scores in the third. That right there, give the football away.
I love when you speak like that. You know how doctors talk about taking the Hippocratic oath, first do no harm? You just did the football-cratic one right there. Don't give the ball away when you have a lead that you can lock this game down with.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. The free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle?
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
And the tight end goes in motion left. They'll bring the tight end in motion right. On third down, Wilson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. And the Rams are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where, in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs more.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. And the Broncos will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. So a nice play defensively by the rookie, coming up with the INT.
And that's a late-round pick right there, making a first-round impact. And a lot of these day 3 corners end up winding up on special teams and sub packages and even on the practice squad. But he's really made an impact on this defense, and he comes up with the interception there.
We are on to the 4th quarter here on this special. Second and 11 now. They'll send the tight end in motion left. To throw again on second down. Wilson. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Return there, give him an even 20 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Hey. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
They snap it to Stafford. And able to catch it, but he's out of bounds. And the throw took him beyond the sideline, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that, saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule. If someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the plays we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. Now a play fake it at Stafford.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield.
It got his man complete.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. Well, he's been doing this for more than a decade now, showing that he's still got that arm strength from back when he was the #1 overall pick.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone.
Meanwhile, Stafford's throw there complete to Allen. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Stafford looks to throw again. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24.
Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
On 4th down, Stafford. And it's out. He put it on the carpet. And it's It's a defensive return for a late touchdown. So they still need somewhat of a miracle here, but at least that gets them a little bit closer. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Throwing here, Stafford. Flushed out right. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hoping they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a first down.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess? He didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up. But he certainly will have some explaining to do.
Wait a second. That's got to be a mistake. They declined it.
That doesn't make any sense, right? I mean, it doesn't at all because you want that penalty. All right, they just picked up a first down, right? You want the penalty.
I am so confused right now. Man, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the fourth quarter. Should rely more on the passing attack?
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first three quarters, you're still trying to convince the...
And he's taken down. Back in his own 7.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. And it's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack.
Up the middle, it's Williams. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. So